You know what, folks? This report actually hurts because I got to find out who Sade Perkins really is. And she just split the black community with her corny, cowardly racism. So let's be real. Sade Perkins didn't just go viral on TikTok. She exposed everything wrong with this twisted, godless, race-obsessed ideology called Democrats. This woman mocked the death of Christian girls in Kerr County, Texas. She called them little see you next Tuesdays. She also said it might have been God's will that they all drowned. And why? Why? Because they were white. Because they were Christian. Because she believes vengeance is a virtue if the skin tone is right. But here's the deep hypocrisy in this. By all accounts, she's married to a white pastor, lives comfortably in a home in Houston, sits in a progressive white-led church, and by blood, DNA, just looking at her, you could easily tell that she's part white herself. And yet, she runs her black mouth like blackness is her God, like melanin is sacred scripture, like racial pain gives her license to not only be cruel, but to be repugnant.
Hold the up. This gotta be a prank, right? It gotta be a ain't no way this serious. Ain't no way this female is serious, right? Cause somebody come look at this. Look at this shit.
Y'all, so you know them haters couldn't stop hating. I knew the ban was gonna come eventually, and they finally did it. Ban my account. But I'm back, and I'm still standing by everything I've said. Someone said...
Oh, so she's serious. She created a new page. So, first of all, follow suit and get this one gone. Expeditiously. Secondly, if y'all have any bit of humanity whatsoever, this one does not deserve a penny. Because see these little girls? Sade or Sade Perkins, whatever her name is, straight up got on the internet, pulled out her phone after 20 little babies died along with multiple adults. And she said she don't care, quote unquote, she said she don't care if 20 little bitch and 60 died. Talking about the people who died in the flood down there in Texas. Bro, that's literally what she said, along with a lot of other things, such as she don't care how many white people die. For her to care, she don't care because the school is an all-white Christian conservative school, all while she is married to a white pastor.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing amazing. Thank you so much for clicking on this episode. I really do appreciate your love and support on this channel. So I just happened to come across a video of Blackamericans calling out one of their own by the name Sade Perkins. I hope I'm pronouncing their name right. And you know, we all talk about free speech in America and everyone has the right to say whatever they have to say. But then again, I always say free speech has a limit. So this woman came out here celebrating, or you know, she was just expressing that she doesn't care about those kids who got unalived in Texas floods. Mind you, these are just kids. 20 kids that lost their lives. She was saying that if this was Mexican kids or black kids, there would not be as much coverage as it is right now, which we know that's true, but that still doesn't give her the right or, you know, the audacity to come on social media and celebrate this. To go further, after her account was locked, she came up with a GoFundMe and opened another account, and people followed her in mass numbers. One thing I love about Blackamericans is that they gonna call you out no matter what, either you're black or what. If you're on the wrong and you're doing something that is not right, they will call you out. So people called her out, and especially the big number of the people that were calling her out for her doings are actually Black Americans. And it's so sad that even allegedly her husband is a pastor and she has the audacity to come on social media and say these things about innocent kids. I want us to watch these videos together, guys. Every clip and every stitch that you'll be seeing on our today's episode, credit belongs to the original creators of these videos that you're seeing on your screens. So let's just dive right ahead and we'll come back with more commentary.
That's her husband, who had to come out and put out a statement on their church's website, and she kept on going. I don't know if they're still married. Last thing I knew, she was on her way to Mexico or some shit. I don't know. But as someone who actually lost somebody to drowning, and as someone who almost died twice from drowning. Because here's the thing. I don't know if you guys have ever heard me speak on my past, but I used to spearfish back when I was in Jamaica. So I've almost drowned a couple of times because of what I did. But the two main close calls, I'm telling you, was scary. You ever wanted to cry out for help, but you can't because you're underwater? Let me tell you, as a grown man, that is the most terrifying experience you can ever imagine. Now, I want you to imagine these kids knowing that they're gonna die, want to cry out for help, but every time they attempt, dirty, murky water fill up their mouth, fill up their lungs, taking their lives away. Dozens of babies who had no idea they were never gonna get through the end of that day. These babies have no idea what the fuck racism is. But this female up here, this pastor's wife, this white pastor's wife, said these little white bitches, she don't give a fuck about them. That's what she said. And now she's up on here asking you for your money to help her live lavish off of dragging the human race like the way she did. I'm gonna leave with this. Like I said, if you have any ounce of humanity in you, go report that page. And secondly, if you see this video and you scroll on over to her Gifts and Go and give her your money, you are just as bad as she is.
I know I'm probably going to get canceled for this, but Camp Mystic is a whites-only girls Christian camp.
Not only is this divisive, but it's quite literally sick. It's disgusting. And as a matter of fact, this isn't surprising coming from someone who operates out of witchcraft, who's a blatant witch. So not only am I going to call you out on your racism, but I'm also going to call you out on your craft to tell you to repent, for the end thereof is literal damnation. With that being said, it is not surprising coming from someone who practices ancestral worship. When it comes to this Yoruban religion that these people practice, disgusting Ifa stuff, witchcraft stuff, the reality is that they emphasize on the superiority of skin color over anything. So they're sick enough to justify the death of these innocent little girls, all because it was quote unquote all white. With that being said, the devil is a liar. And I pray that the parents, if they ever see this, that you know that not all black people believe this way. Not all black people agree with this. For even the 2,000 and something people that like this need to be warned and need to repent, but this is absolutely disgusting and they themselves are on their way to hell. I pray comfort over the families, those of you who have lost your children, that although you may never be able to get them back, that the Lord comforts you in such a way like never before, that you get to know him and know that there is a day that's coming where you'll be able to see your child follow Christ alone. Anyway, God bless you guys. I love you and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Sade Perkins spoke her truth about Mystic Summer Camp flood. Now, here's the thing about the truth. Sometimes the truth is unwelcoming It's distasteful and it's downright ugly and unwarranted, and it could be misconstrued. Now, what y'all gotta understand is that if it was young girls that look like me, they wouldn't get as much news coverage. It wouldn't be so much publicity behind it. But let me just say this. I don't think when Sade wanted to cause awareness and wanted to out hatred, that she was actually gonna out herself and let us know and make us aware that she has a little hatred in her heart herself, because she's lacking sympathy, empathy, and also humanity. Because once again, these are children. Children. I don't see a color when it comes to children. I see children who need to be brought home. I see some children who won't make it home. I see some children who will forever have to live with this tragedy in their head. That's what I see. And Sade, here's my thing, and I'm going to tell you the truth to you, sister girl. You have every right to vocalize the way you feel, but you're not no different than the people who really are people who really have hatred in their heart. You're not no different, because you just showed us who you are. And I agree with some of the things you said, but I'm gonna put on my rain boots and go and help these little girls. I don't give a care how you feel, because if this was my little girl, I want you, whoever, to come out and help me save my baby, okay? Or put my baby to rest. I'm just being truthful.
Let me tell you the God honest truth, Sade Perkins. The reason why you feel like these white girls got too much sympathy is because you don't care about your own color. You don't care about your own people. If you watch BET, you watch rap videos, you watch like the black culture, you look at the black neighborhoods and things like that, all you're ever going to find is a bunch of black people degrading each other. You know, you look at these movies, you're going to see a bunch of black men degrading women. You're going to see a bunch of women who are fighting over men, and you're going to see a bunch of men who are filming the show and laughing, you know? And then you have this whole culture that basically praises that. So yeah, the world probably looks at a bunch of black people and they say, you know what? Those people don't care about themselves. They don't value themselves. So why should we? And that's the God honest truth. Now, there was these little kids that were missing in Colorado, and I shared the post because I want them to be found, because I love everyone equally. If you loved everyone equally, then you would feel the same way too. But at the end of the day, if you can't love yourself, I can't expect you to love anybody else, you know? And that's just who you are. You're a person that has no love. You're no different than, you know, the KKK when it was founded within the Democratic Party. Your ideas, the way you speak, the way you talk about other people, it's just as disgusting. And guess what? Racism doesn't look good on anyone. So it doesn't look good on you. And yeah, you're just not a great person.
Hold on, let me get this straight. Sade Perkins come on here and say horrible things about the children that lost their life at Camp Mystic because they are Caucasian. She's married to a Caucasian pastor and she's a felon. But that's not even the kicker. When Sade Perkins came on here and said those horrible things about those children, she had 7,000 followers. Tell me why Sade Perkins now have 11,000 followers and is in the Creator Rewards program. But this is what y'all support. Y'all act like y'all don't support it, but y'all really do support it. There's no way this lady should be in the Creator Reward program less than 48 hours after she said all these horrible racist things about children at that. She truly believes they got what they deserve. But now she have a platform and she can now be paid to say more horrible things. But there's people out here making content that can't even get a follow. Make it make sense.
So an ex-Houston official by the name of Sade Perkins is under fire today after she bluntly states that the young girls and people who were working at Camp Mystic deserved what they got because of their background of being a whites-only girl Christian camp. Now, we don't know how true this is, but let's go ahead and talk about it. So Camp Mystic is for sure an all-girls summer camp that has been around since, I believe, 1926, and they are in Kerr County. Now, we know Kerr County had a foot of rain that came in that flooded the Guadalupe River. that resulted in multiple deaths, okay, including some of the young girls and some of the workers at Camp Mystic. And 26 girls are still accounted for. They're still looking for them. Now, Sade took to her social media and made a video, and here's what she pretty much said. She said, "I know I'm going to get canceled for this, but Camp Mystic is a white-only girls Christian camp. They don't even have a token Asian. They don't have a token black person. It's an all-white, white-only conservative Christian camp. If you ain't white, you ain't right. You ain't getting in. You ain't going, period," Sade Perkins said in the video about the girls-only Camp Mystic. While blaming the media coverage of the tragedy, Perkins alleged that the spotlight of the floods would have been a lot dimmer if the victims were not white or from other races. If there is a group of Hispanic girls out there, this would not be getting this type of coverage. She says that no one would give a F, and all these white people, the parents of these little girls, would be saying things like they need to be deported, they shouldn't have been here in the first place, and yada, yada, yada. Now, of course, once people heard this, they started flooding to her Facebook page, and here's one of her responses. "Pray for the souls of those little girls who are reaping the ACES rewards of their parents. Y'all voted for Trump and he cut EPA and FEMA funding. A flash forward flood alert should have been issued, but it wasn't because the budget was cut. Go pray about that." This is all very unfortunate, and we do know that white people tend to be overrepresented in media when tragedies like this happen. But at the end of the day, it's not the kids' fault, and they're still missing, right? It's not their fault. They're children. They're innocent. So I do hope that they are found. But of course, as days continue to pass, you start to pretty much believe that there may not be hope in finding them alive. But hopefully they'll still be able to be reunited with their family, so their family, if they're not alive, can possibly give them proper burial.
Before we actually conclude this video, guys, I want you to all understand, especially those people that are not Black Americans watching this video. This woman does not talk for the Black Americans, and this is why you've seen so many people, Black Americans, are out here on this video calling her out. And them calling her out doesn't mean that they disagree with her frustration about racial disparities that are happening in the United States of America. We all know that this has been going on for years, but it's how she expressed it and what time she took to express this. I mean, this was wrong at all counts. These are kids that are as young as 8 years old, and her coming out and saying everything that she said, it's quite disturbing. Even seeing the number of people that actually followed her after this, and people actually trying to donate to her GoFundMe, it's very crazy. So one of the things that people are angry about, or what Black Americans are actually calling her out for, is targeting children. She crossed the line. We all know that, because many Black people are feeling like bringing race into a tragedy where children got unalived, some as young as 8 years old, was heartless, regardless of political or racial context and everything that's happening in the United States of America. Another thing is because whatever she did and said out here, it's reinforcing negative stereotypes. If you listened or if you watch the whole video and what she was saying, you see that this is helping other people, or this is making other people portray Black people as vindictive, cold, or racially divisive. And it's quite sad because, you know, there are so many stereotypes out there about Black people that most people believe, which are not actually true. And this is why I said that this woman doesn't speak for Black Americans. She's only speaking for herself, because it shouldn't be about celebrating pain. It should be about calling out the racial injustice, the systematic racism, and what the government is doing. You know, the pain of these parents and these kids should not be to celebrate, you know. It should be actually a chance to tell the family sorry, those who are grieving actually for the loss of their children, rather than coming out here and making this a video about celebration. Because I believe that every parent out there would be very hurt seeing a person celebrating the unaliving of their child, no matter the color, no matter the race. These are kids as young as 4 years old, and this is why you're seeing so many Black Americans are calling her out for what she did. You know, I don't think there is even any person who would be watching this video and say whatever she did is right, unless something somewhere is wrong with you and you need to be checked. Honestly, I'm not even lying. As a human being, this was not right at all. I will not support this. Like, this is something that most people should not be supporting. Yes, I know Black Americans are facing all these systematic racism, things that are happening and things that actually have happened with the new administration that is really actually frustrating Black Americans. But even with all the frustrations that Black Americans are facing, and this is why I say she doesn't speak for all Black Americans and she doesn't speak for any Black Americans, is because you're seeing them calling her out for what she is. They are not supporting what she did, and they're telling her whatever you're doing is wrong at all costs. It's crazy. People are saying that she's married to a Caucasian man out there who is a pastor. I didn't even want to dig into that because that doesn't mean anything to whatever she did, you know. Either she's married to a pastor, because this is who she is as a person. Because you cannot tell me you're gonna sit, take a camera, make a video, listen, go through that video again and think it's right for you to post such a thing on social media. It's not right at all, you see. And this is why so many times when I see other people creating videos about Black Americans and saying horrible things about Black Americans, it's only from the stereotypes that they've seen and from such kind of people that even don't care. I don't know if she was making this video because she knew it was gonna go viral for money, because TikTok do pay in the United States of America, or I don't understand what her motive was. And even going through the comment section, you see, even as she framed her comments as if she was speaking for all Black Americans, if you go to the comment section, Black Americans are telling her, you do not speak for us, you do not represent us. And that is the case, because after this video, I'm sure that there is a big number of people that are not Black Americans that are viewing Black Americans in a different way because of the comments and the whatever she said there. But I want you all to know that Black Americans came out even on the comment section and told her that she do not represent them. And this is something that should be learned, that Black Americans do not stand for this. Accountability goes both ways, and this is why you're seeing Black Americans even on the comment section creating these videos, taking accountability and just trying to make people know that they do not stand for this. So just as Black Americans demand accountability from others, they also hold their own high moral standards. And for many that are actually calling her out, they are not doing these protecting white feelings. They're just doing it because they know it's the right thing to do. They know it's the right thing to call such people out and show the people that this is not right at all. And it's also about protecting Black dignity and moral clarity, because this is not what Black Americans actually do stand for. I know so many people have come across this video because I've just seen so many people creating this video on my FIU page on TikTok. Not only TikTok, it's also going viral on X and other social media platform, and people are just calling her out, especially the Black Americans, and they're not happy at all for what's happening. I feel so sorry, and my heart goes to all those families that are actually mourning the loss of their kids. And I just wish this is a tragedy that didn't have to happen. But I hope people that actually hold such kind of campsite and events will in the future, or as from now, get to know on when people should be there and take all the legal measures that are needed to be taken for people to be safe at these campsites, or they should just be closed if they cannot do that, because we cannot have people losing their lives just like this. I know some of the things we cannot control, but I believe that people can try and do better in the future, especially the campsites, and especially such people like this woman who is being called out here. Let me know what your thoughts are on the comment section. I just felt like I need to share this video with you guys, because there's so many people that I've seen on the comment section that have seen or watched this video, and they are now generalizing the whole community of Black American. And I just felt this is not right, because in as much as there are people that are out there supporting her, a big number of the Black Americans are just like, no, we do not stand for this. She does not speak for our own community, and we do not support this. Let me know what your thoughts are on the comment section. Thank you so much for watching up to this part, and until the next episode, bye.